Well, in this video, we will understand the architecture of the application. So this is the database schema that I am using for this project. It has 7 different tables. You can see categories, suppliers, products, orders and order details, shippers, employees and customers. So and you can see the relationship, how these tables are connected with each other, like product is connected with order and categories table connected with product. You can see the schema, and you can see I have included the link in the description. You can find this database schema and database file on GitHub, so you don't have to worry about it. You can see it and you can install it on your local. And this is the project file structure, which we'll discuss in detail later in the tutorial. It has a backend. Backend has 3 files: main.python and asm.py. This is the extension for Python file. And requirement.txt has all the libraries and dependencies that we are going to use. And there's a front end where you have a chat box on the left, and the right panel where you see all the result. We'll explain it more in details. And you can see and explore this file. It has different categories and customers. It has 91 customers and employees. In order, you want to verify if the query results are coming accurate. This is where you can see and explore. I will include this file in the description, as I mentioned before. And let's go to see what you need to understand or know before you understand the architecture. So these are some of the prerequisites for this project. It would be good if you understand the Python and FastAPI. So for the backend, we are using FastAPI. It is a modern Python web framework for building fast APIs. It works great. It's easy to understand. And we are using LangChain. It's a framework building applications with an LLM. And we're going to use OpenAI. It's a large language model for understanding natural language and generating SQL. It is where we're going to use this when we write a query on the front end. It goes back and ChatGPT change that query, the prompt, into a query, and then we send the query to database, and it returns back the result, and then we format the result and to show on the front end. And for the database, we are using SQLite, as we mentioned before. And you will need to have some basic understanding at least of React 18 or anything latest. And White, how this is a fast build tool for development server, and then a framer motion for some animations on the UI, and Axios to send the request from front end to the back end to get the result. And here is the basic basic architectures that explains how this application works. So you see, use a browser. This is where you open the app and you make a HTTP request in the panel, in the chat box that is displayed on the browser, and then it uses React front end that runs on this port. You can change the port, but by default I think it works on 5173 port. And then this makes a call, the API call to the backend, FastAPI backend that runs in the backend on port 8000. We will talk and discuss more about it. And then it uses SQL agent class. So what it does, it takes the query and then send it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT understand what is being asked and generates a query, and then SQL agent send it to the SQL database, and that's where the query is executed and returns back the result. And that's how we get back the result to the browser that is displayed in the right panel. So this is the basic architecture. You don't have to worry about it, but it's good to know what's happening in order to create a mental picture. And this is the front end architecture. We have a main application, that main window that is shown. It has a header, it has a chat window, result panel that I was talking about, and the backend that we are using for the fetching the data. And in the backend, what happens when client send the request, FastAPI in the main.py receives that, and it formats the result using SQL agent. And SQL agent, what it does, it generates the query from the prompt using OpenAI, and then it executes that query on the database, on the schema that we have, and then it returns back the result. And then we format the result and send the JSON back to the browser, that is the client, and that's where we display the result. So this is the like a very simple way to put it forward. It has a backend that processes the prompt, generates the query, executes the query, and send back the result in JSON. On the front end, we display the result in the right panel, and this is the overall picture of the architecture. In the next video, we will understand how it works in the backend. Thank you very much for watching so far. I hope you will learn a lot.